to me? That's what I want to know.
We got different last names, live on different sides of the country. How am I supposed to know?
He'll realize he made a mistake soon enough.
Michael, Marissa's
Boyfriend.
Boyfriend?
What was it about this story that brought it to you and made you say yes?
Well, you know, I get a lot of scripts coming across my desk, but this one came with an offer, so that was I'd put it at the top of the pile. But it all starts with a script, though. If you have a good script, and then you can put the other pieces together, then you have a fighting chance, because there is luck in this business. Sometimes you can have all the elements and it still doesn't work out. Yeah. But if you have a good script, you know, you're ahead of the game. And this script was particularly good for me because I'm on a TV series now called Beauty in Black, where I play a character that's quite the contrary of Mr. Willie in Unexpected Christmas. And so what I don't want to do is I don't want to do too many roles that are very similar to each other, because it is easy for people to think that's all you can do. And so when this came across, I was like, oh, beautiful. The other thing is this character is he comes into, he meets a woman and it becomes a blended family, and he comes with his daughter. And it's very similar to my family. I have a blended family as well. Okay. I came with 2 kids and my wife came with 2 kids. And so it's, and some of the issues that were happening in the movie are real life issues that happen in my family. So it was not a stretch for me at all.
So were you able to sort of, I guess, help script, ad lib, improv in doing it?
No, it was pretty much baked into the script. You know, I didn't have to do a lot. Whenever I do a film, if I'm inspired, I will go with that inspiration. Or if I'm with an actor who's inspired and he goes off script, I'll go with him. But a lot of it was baked into the film. As a matter of fact, when we went to the screening in Los Angeles, my daughter was sitting next to me, and at one point she started crying, and I knew she started crying because she saw herself on that screen.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is it about the themes of this movie that you think are going to resonate with people like your daughter and viewers watching, especially as we are now starting the holiday season?
Well, this movie in particular, it's a Christmas movie. It has a Black cast, but the thing about this movie is that it deals with human issues. And so it doesn't matter what culture you come from, what complexion you may be, or religion. These human issues are going to be the same human issues that you're dealing with. And so when you see the film, you will see people that in your family on the screen. You will see people that you know on the screen, and I think it will resonate with everybody. And I think because it's a comedy, I call it a dramedy, because there is drama, it's a hot mess sometimes. But there's comedy in it because we have comedians like Lorel, and we have Tabitha Brown, and we have Howie Bell, and those guys bring the funny. And so because there's comedy in there, I think that it makes a lot of these issues much more palatable.
Talk about the cast for a minute. You get to play with a lot of really impressive people. What was that like? What was life like on the set?
It was, you know, I come back to the word family. I walk on set, and you know, when I started in this business over 4 decades ago, I was often, when I would step on set, I would be the only person of color, and in the crew there wouldn't be many people of color either. And so when you walk on a set, when you know, when it's that type of diversity, it feels comfortable, and it feels natural, and it feels like family. It feels like home.
And do you have an affinity or love for doing Christmas movies?
It seems like I do, because I've got 5 under my belt now. So
I know this isn't the first Christmas
that way, but you know, I've done over 120 projects, so of course there are going to be some Christmas projects in there. I must say though, it is a beautiful time of year, and Christmas movies often are movies of joy, of family, and so yeah, it's great to do it. I do a lot of drama as an actor. I'm 6'3", close to 200 pounds, so I'm often playing the alpha male. And to do Christmas movies, you can actually just have fun on screen, you know.
Enjoyed you in this, and certainly a lot of fun. But as you said, you have a reputation for playing the stoic, strong male figure, and you've been in this business how long now?
43 years.
43 years.
Yes.
What's that journey been like?
It's been It's been a roller coaster. It's been up and down. You know, there are peaks and valleys in this business. And what I tell young people when you get into it, you know, don't wait to be happy once you reach your goal, because some people never reach the goal. I say you have to learn to enjoy the journey. And if you can do that, then you're good to go. Otherwise, you can find yourself being very bitter. But yeah, I'll do a project and it hits hot, and then all of a sudden I'm all the rage, and then you know everything goes quiet and you're just a regular guy again. And it's all good, you know, because it keeps you humble. And I think in this business, you know, you need humility. I think men in general need humility, and especially if you're a male actor, you probably need a little more.
Do you remember when the bug bit you? When you knew this was what you were called and wanted to do?
I remember, yeah, I remember. So I'm from Chicago originally, and I went to my parents split up and we moved from Illinois to Florida. And I didn't want to move down south, but we had to. And the school I was going to, I was bused to. And it was in an affluent neighborhood, and the school was called Plantation. So you can imagine a 13-year-old boy going to the South, and his high school is called Plantation High. So it was, you know, it was a bit of a culture shock. But the school that I was going to was, they were just housing us while our new school was being built. And I would get there early sometimes and try and sneak in. And this one teacher caught me sneaking in, and she wouldn't let me in. And then I said, well, I left my books in there, and she could tell I was lying. And then a little girl walked up and said that she had left her book, little white girl, by the way. And she let her go get her book. But the little girl wasn't lying. I was. She read me like a book. But I was so convincing that I got watery eyes and all that. And I'm just telling her that, you know, you should let me in too. And she just said, you know, I'm not going to let you in, but you are going to be in my play.
Are you serious?
I played the race card and everything. And she read right through all of it and said, you're going to be in my play. And I was in her play, and I was in 2 more after that. And that's where I got the bug. So I didn't find acting. This lady, Miss Culpepper, she found me. She found me, and she saw this boy had this energy, and he had this passion, and it was misdirected, and she decided to direct it in the right direction.
Wow. What do you think kept you going all these years, especially since there have been ebbs and flows and projects here and times of low? What kept you going?
You know, this business does have a lot of ebbs and flows, and your bills come every month, but the paycheck doesn't come every month.
True.
So as a young man, my family often, they really believed in business. And I went to school. I went and got a master's degree. After a master's degree, I worked in Hollywood, got typecast as a gang member, and then went and studied Shakespeare in London. And so with all that, I felt like I had prepared myself for this business, and I was in it for the long run. And so during the slow times, you know, I persisted, and I think that's something that young actors and young people in this business in general, whatever business you're in, there are going to be ups and downs, and you have to, you know, you have to be persistent and consistent.
Nice. Don't give up.
Yeah.
And I read that you feel there's still better days ahead and so much more than what's behind you right now?
When you read that, when I said that, that was before Beauty in Black. And after Beauty in Black, I still feel that way. I still feel that my best work is yet to come. As you get older, you gain more perspective, and you can bring that to a role. You just have to find the right role where you get an opportunity to show it.
Yes. I would be crucified if I did not ask you, how is Horace Bellery?
I gotta say, I've had a lot of peaks in my career, but the Beauty in Black fans they're real. They're the real deal, man. And I always know when it's Beauty in Black that they recognize me from the shout that I hear, you know, or the cry or something, or the because I guess he's such a hot mess, you know, that people, you either love him or you hate him. But no, it's been a real pleasure playing this character, Horace, because he's so complex. You know, when you first meet him, you think that he's this poor senior citizen on a fixed income. Later, you find out he worth hundreds of millions. When you first meet him, you think that he's weak, and you later found out that he's not the one to take for weakness. When you first meet him, you feel that he's extremely homophobic, and later on you find out that he may be a little himself. You know, so he comes across sometimes as the protagonist and other times as the antagonist. So to play a role like that, if you've got the chops, it really is an opportunity to show what you can do.
No, I'm among those fans, by the way.
Oh, thank you,
Just so
brother.
you know, what's the inspiration? Where do you go to bring him to life?
My father.
Really?
That's the foundation. My father was a big man in the community, and he was a big man in general. He was a veteran, and he was a Golden Glove boxer. He had a lot going on, but I've never remembered seeing him raise his voice in anger. Never. And that was the foundation of Horace. Horace, you can see everybody else will be going crazy around him, but you know, the king doesn't shout. The king waits for everybody else to be quiet so they can hear him. And so that was my way of doing it. And not only that, I also took away a lot of the swear words. There are a lot of swear words in the series, don't get me wrong. But I took a lot of mine away because I felt he didn't need it. I felt and then when he did use them, I thought they would have more power.
I love it. I love it. Well, I will say what many people are thinking: he can't die. We need that cure. Last question for you: if you could go back and give your younger self advice, as we sit here, more than 40 years in the business now, what would you tell that little boy?
Wow, Efrem, that's a good question, man. I think I would tell him. First of all, you're going to be fine. Be patient. And this ride is going to take you around the world 2 or 3 times before you know it.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Efrem.
Pleasure.